going on is you've got this incredible supply crunch, like actually the lowest levels of supply of homes for sale on record. So on the left half of slide 28, this is month supply. Now, unfortunately, the data we have comes from the NAR and only goes back to the turn of the century, so we've only got about 16, 17 years worth of data. But the point is that we're literally at the lowest level of supply on record, even taking into consideration the sort of heady days of 2005, 2006. So supply levels are as tight as they were at the peak of the housing bubble. And that might sound sort of disconcerting, like any sort of analog to the bubble. But the reality is that there's just not a lot of supply. There's a lot of demand and there's not a lot of supply. And so, and by the way, that supply pressure cooker is on the right side of 28 is still actually getting worse. So you've still got declining supply year over year, which is what that chart is showing in unit terms. And then on 29, basically what we did is we ran an analysis. It's kind of an old analysis, but it's still very true today, where we broke all the inventory readings into deciles. And then we tracked the subsequent home price performance based on those decile readings of inventory. And not surprisingly, what you find is that when inventory is in sort of lower deciles, meaning there's not a lot of it, you tend to see significant home price improvement or increase. And when there's a lot of inventory, you see prices actually go down a lot. Basically what you'd expect to see, but this is sort of the mathematical representation of what it means. And where we are now, which is in the tightest inventory decile, you'd expect to see prices nationally rise about 12% over the next 15 months. And remember, as we looked at some charts earlier, annual HPI is actually running only around 6 right now. So yeah, I think the idea is that based on the tight inventory and based on sort of generally improving mortgage credit availability, we would expect to see the rate of HPI continue to accelerate here over the bulk of 2017.